Okay, so let's talk about the no contact and divorcing parents conversation. I have experience with this, and it's been over a decade, and I want to make sure that victim survivors know that you are not alone, that I see you, that I'm with you, and it can be one of the most painful experiences. Unfortunately, we have had a couple of very high-level capitalistic women try to dismiss it as a trend, as if it were a fashion statement. Others who have decided to discard it and tell people to get over it and show up for dinner anyway because we have to just let them. No one needs to allow abuse, to let it happen. Abuse is not just physical and sexual. It can be those things, but psychological, emotional, and verbal abuse are very real, and they are often the predecessors to physical and sexual abuse, but they are gaining access to information, to therapy, to healing modalities, and they're gaining language. There's already a lot of loneliness and shame that comes with it, because it isn't the most natural thing to break away, to rip ourselves away from our origin stories. But I can tell you from experience, because I've also divorced an ex-husband who was sexually abusive, this was still more painful. I also had to come to terms with the fact that after years of therapy, of trying new ways of doing things, of being able to realize what was happening to me, what was happening to my nervous system, it didn't matter what change I made, it didn't matter what method I used, if I was the only one growing and changing, and they weren't willing to repair and willing to be self-reflective, which most parental figures are not, especially among the boomer generation. Adult children are having to make very, very painful choices. But those painful choices often lead to incredible healing generational harm and hurt and cycles that they might not otherwise do that. You cannot often heal in the very place that beat you, especially when they continue to beat you down. Not everyone can carry that weight, and that is not a disparity. That is not a moral failing. You have to become far better at asking questions about why abusers inflict harm, rather than trying to make the victim survivor defend their decision to get out from under abuse. If you cannot understand, that's okay. Nobody's expecting you to understand. But you are being asked to be supportive. And if you can't support, if you're just going to put someone on the defensive and make them defend their heart, then please just say less and let yourself out.